folks, welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at question 22-25, find players with 0 or 1 losses. So we will be approaching this problem is by actually tracking the players who are actually playing the games and the number of losses that they have seen so far. A few considerations that we need to keep in mind is the number of like the player IDs can be between like 1 and 10 to the power of 5. I think this was one of the biggest restrictions when it came to like coming up with the solution. If the number of players were given to us and it was continuous, as in like they were the players were back to back, as in like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, what we could do is that we could just create an array, and where the index would represent the player ID and the number of times that they have either seen the number of times that they've lost, and then we could just iterate through the array once we have done the first looping and just add that to the resulting list that we need to return. But since that is not guaranteed, as in we don't have all of the player IDs to be sequential in the given array to us, that's the reason why we need to use a hash map and a tree set. So let's get started. So let's create a hash map first. So the hash map is the data structure that will keep a track of the number of losses for a given player. Let's call it number of losses. New hash map. And the other thing that we need to keep a track of is also the players themselves. So let's create a tree set for that. And then let's call it integer. And then let's call it players. Tree is equal to new tree set. We could have used any other data structure for that. We could have also used like a hash set for that. But the reason why I'm using a tree set is because when we're iterating through that, it will give us the order automatically, since we have to return the values in the resulting list in increasing order. So that's the reason why I decided to go with a tree set instead of just a hash set. All right, so once we have the two data structures in place, we need to iterate through all of the matches. Yes, so the for loop conditions are defined. So let's get the winners and the losers. Winner would be match of the first one is winner, so that would be winner would be match of 0, and then loser would be match of 1. Okay, awesome. So once we have the player IDs for the given match, what we need to do is we need to add that to the number of losses. So let's do number of losses dot put loser number of losses dot getter default. You get the loser 0 and then +1. Awesome. So basically what we're trying to do here is you're planning to track a given player and how many times that player has lost. And the next step is basically add that to the tree sets. And what we're adding to the tree set is actually both the players, so that we keep a track of all of the players that are in the matches that were played. Awesome. So once that is done, we need to do another for loop that goes through all of the players in the tree set. So let's call it in players. And what do we need to do next? So we need to do, there are two things, right? Yes, we need to iterate through all the players and check the number of losses, but we also need to put the data somewhere, and we didn't create that yet. So let's create that data structure. So what we're trying to return is a list of integers. So let's do that. Let's call it result new array list. We need to actually initialize two lists, like add two empty lists to the resulting list. So let's do this. Yeah. So since we need to add two, we actually need to call this twice. We're basically adding two array lists to the resulting list, right? So the data structure that we have to return is set. So in the end, we just need to return that, right? All right, so what we're doing here is we're iterating through all of the players in the tree set that we added here, right? So what do we do? So if number of losses that contains key of player. So if the player that we're looking at doesn't exist in the hash map where we track the number of losses, that means that player has played a game but hasn't lost anything, right? So in that case, we add that to the zeroed list, res.get of 0.add player, right? And then the other condition that we need to check is that if it does exist, else if actually let's just do else. If it does exist in the list and number of losses dot get of player is equal to 1, as in they've lost just one game, so you just add that to the second list. That means I've lost only one game. Yeah, so in the end, you basically return the list, and since we are pulling the values from the tree set, which stores all of the values in an increasing order, the values that get added to the list are also in the increasing order, so we don't really have to worry about that. Awesome. So let's try compiling this. Player.add winner y players, right? Okay. Let's try compiling that again. Okay, so the first few test cases are okay. Everything else is okay as well. Awesome. So let's talk about the space and the time complexity of the entire solution. The space complexity of the entire solution is of n, since we are using a hash map and a tree set to store all of the data. The time complexity is also of n, since we are using a for loop to iterate through all of the matches and the players. Awesome. So if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. If yes, if you, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. I would really, really appreciate that. It definitely keeps me motivated to make more videos. Thanks so much, and I'll see you folks in the next video. Peace.